Hey everyone, it's Scott Monker, and I've got a new project I'm going to start working on, kind of on and off. I realized I do a lot of tabletop gaming, and I've done a lot of reviews on my YouTube channel, and one of the things that I began to notice is we use a lot of jargon terms in the tabletop gaming industry. And I thought, well, for someone who's new to board gaming, we may not know what all these terms mean. Some of them may be obvious, some less so. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to do these quick videos, typically a minute or 2 minutes. This one's longer because I'm explaining it, where I explain some commonly used gaming terms, and I'll release 1 or 2 a week. So let's talk about the phrase cooperative games. If you're used to traditional, what they call mass market board games like Monopoly, Risk, so on and so forth, you're used to the concept of board games having winners and losers. Cooperative gaming kind of changes the model, where instead of all the players competing against each other for a winner, the players combine forces together and work in unison, we hope, to beat the game itself, where the game sets up a set of conditions where we can win or lose, and we work together to try to meet whatever the objectives of that game are. It's kind of like if you've ever played role-playing games. A lot of times role-playing games have a very cooperative nature. Not always, but most of the time we think about role-playing games as the player party being cooperative. Again, not always, but we hope for most of the time. So, cooperative games change the traditional model of players competing against each other to win versus other players to one where we all are going to hopefully work together to beat the rules system that's inherent in the game. While people tend to think of cooperative gaming as a 21st century trend, really it dates back to the 1980s. There were 2 games that came out in the 1980s that used this concept of cooperative gaming. Interestingly, they're still very popular today. Fury of Dracula and Arkham Horror were 2 games that introduced this concept of a cooperative element. Now, interestingly, I just bought a copy of Fury of Dracula the other day, and you'll still see them on the shelf. They're now on their 2nd or 3rd edition. I think it's 2nd edition, maybe 3rd edition. But both of these games are still very popular today. So you can see that one of the things about cooperative games, if they're well designed, is they really kind of survive the test of time. In kind of the modern era, when people think about cooperative gaming, the game they tend to reference the most is Pandemic. Now, if you've never played Pandemic, Pandemic is a game where you play members of the Center for Disease Control, and all the players are trying to eradicate and cure viruses. It's a very popular cooperative game, and it's kind of used as kind of the common reference. It's by Matt Leacock. It's gone through several editions. They've actually got, in the last couple of years, they've introduced the legacy mechanic, so you have Pandemic Legacy. And we'll talk about legacy gaming, what it means in a future video. But really, it tends to be when people consider cooperative gaming, Pandemic is most commonly the one people most talk about. So if you're interested in cooperative gaming, I would certainly give Pandemic a try. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, click on the like button below, just so we get a like. And if you have a term that you've been curious about and you want me to define, put it in the comments section, and I'll kind of put it in queue for a future video so we can define that term.